previously on Nerd Talk.
But yeah, that reminds me of that. And then when you're talking about Cinderella, it reminded me of a little princess. So she, she gets banished to the attic and becomes a servant. And so, that lady was pretty evil too.
Yeah.
Where she's like, this child doesn't have a father. When the father shows back up, like
Yeah.
you're that petty
Yeah.
that you don't want to reunite her with her father, and you'll get your money that you were like, I'm gonna lose all my money now. Like,
Yeah.
just because you're bitter or whatever.
She probably assumed he had no more money. Didn't even think
Right.
that he was still well off.
No, she was just petty and hated her so much. She was like, I'm not gonna let you get reunited with your father. So I don't know. I always think, like, what's the motivation of why you became this way or whatever. When I think about villains, I'm like, you weren't born this way. Unless you're a sociopath, psychopath from birth, you're not born this way. Something happened to you. And not to say that.
Welcome to Nerd Talk, where we talk about, our favorite topics in TV, movies, gaming, books, comics, and more. I'm Silver.
And I'm Ray.
Today we're talking about Zelda, one of my favorite games of all time. I love it.
I only know it because of you.
What?
I played Zelda very briefly when it was like, the 8-bits back in the day.
Which version? The Super Nintendo version or the Nintendo version?
Super Nintendo.
Okay. I think to the past, probably.
And I only played it because it was like one of my friends had it, and she lent it to me or something. But I don't know. I maybe just couldn't understand those kind of games. My brain couldn't.
Well, Link to the Past is pretty hard.
Yeah, I couldn't understand it, so I was like, it kind of threw me off to it. But then when I met you, you were like, it's my favorite game, and I would watch you play it a little bit, and I know you cosplayed from it once.
Yeah, once the one time I cosplayed.
Yeah, your one official cosplay. Yes, was that. And so I did some research for that because I was going to try to help you with the costume, which I'm glad your mom made it because it came out amazing. I would not have done it that good. But no, that's the most I knew about it until recently.
Okay.
Still because of you, but until recently.
Well, when I was younger, I didn't have a Nintendo. I had a Super Nintendo, and then my cousins had the Sega, and so my favorite game on Super Nintendo was A Link to the Past, which is a Zelda game. And, only thing else I played outside of that was Mario. Pretty much. That was the extent of my Nintendo knowledge. I was the easygoing side stroller type of gamer back then. Or we play fighting games with like Street Fighter or something. A Mario Kart, I was the reigning champ in Mario Kart, I'm sure. And still to this day, if somebody played me, they would lose, I'm sure.
Take that as a challenge, y'all.
Come play me. Chumps. Anyway, I played a lot of Mario Kart and I played a lot of A Link to the Past. And it's a very involved, in-depth game. But what I wanted to do for this video was talk about the timeline, the official, non-official timeline of all these games. So I did pull up that information. So we could go a little bit into that. In that the Skyward Sword is pretty much the earliest in the real timeline of events that happened. It's right pretty much after the gods created the world, and then they were sky people, so they had birds companions. It's a beautiful game, but it's that one over there on the wall. But it's hard, and it's when Zelda first started going off of the formula of these 3 dungeons in the beginning and then like 8 more dungeons later, and then you just go dungeon, get collect get more heart
I do feel like
pieces.
it's a big collecting game.
But yeah, that was the first game that kind of went off that typical, and you kind of had to have more skill because it came out with like the Wii. So you had like the thing you had to do like this with the Wii, or like do like this or something to swing the sword right. And I was like, I'm too much of a hack and slash gamer to be trying to figure out how to do this. Like a extreme version of that now is Kingdom Come, which a lot of people love, but I tried that game and I was like, this requires too much skill for me. That and like Witcher, they're like, you have to do this and this and this, and then you'll swing your sword right, and I'm like, or you have to do like timing hits or something, and I'm like, no, I just want to go.
Yeah. I feel like it almost takes you out of it if you have to do something like timed a correct way. I'm sure after a while, if you play the game a lot,
Yeah.
it'll become muscle memory, but
Yeah, you can get good at it, and people like that, like to be skilled and have to develop a skill for games, but not me. I'm like, no, I'm more so just want to hack stuff and listen to the story or go through the story. So that's really my enjoyment with games is involved with that. So Skyward Sword was the beginning of the end kind of for me, because I'm like, I don't... It's too hard. I think there was still a GameCube one though, so I could play it a little bit on GameCube where it didn't require as much skill as you having to do this with the Wii remote.
Isn't there one called Twilight Princess, or is that because I know that one was really popular. I heard a lot about that one.
Well, Skyward Sword came out in 2011 for the Wii, and then in the timeline, the next one is Minish Cap, which was on the Game Boy Advance, and Four Swords was on the Game Boy Advance. Minish Cap came out in 2004, and Four Swords came out in 2002. But they were next in like the series of the timeline, and then comes up next is Ocarina of Time.
That's another one I heard a lot about. Like it was I guess it was more like in the infancy of when people talk about stuff nonstop on social media, but like in the MySpace days, that one you just mentioned, I
Ocarina of Time
people would talk about it a lot.
It was a massive success. Everybody loved it when it came out.
Yeah.
And it sold a ton of copies, millions, I'm sure. But that came out in 98, and it was on the Nintendo 64. And I was pretty much done with 3D games, and we talked about this in the video game episode, but that game, I got a hold of it because my brother was in town. He had 007 and Zelda, and like Madden. He always played Madden on the Nintendo 64, and he bought it home with him, and I was like, what's this Zelda game? And I was like, I must have it, I need it. Before then I was like, 3D games, too much for me. Like, I just like to go across the screen, but now I'm like, oh, I need it.
It stayed popular because I remember in like 2010, in like the MySpace days, people were talking about it.
Yeah.
And having like, I guess lives weren't as big as they are now, but you know, they would have like, gosh, group chats were still a thing back then, chat rooms and
like,
stuff.
Yeah, and those forums, kind of like Reddit, but Reddit.
People would play that game, and I was always saying I really should get into Zelda because it's such an iconic game for Nintendo, but I didn't until Breath of the Wild way later.
Sure. Well, and it was my brain couldn't really comprehend 3D until that game, until I really wanted to play something in that format, and so that was what got me to continue with gaming. And so from Ocarina of Time, it splits off into two like timelines. Like one is if Link wins is a timeline, and another if Link doesn't win, Ganon wins. So their games move on from that.
Is it like one of those things where you can choose like the outcome?
I mean, you want to win. You try to win in Ocarina of Time, but it's saying if Link didn't win, these games are in that timeline. So like,
I don't think I would like that. I would not want Link not to win.
Well, Link to the Past is in he didn't win timeline. So like, after Ocarina of Time, they sealed Ganondorf into the evil realm known as the Dark World, and then this game sees Link defeat him using the Triforce. So Link to the Past is from the... I guess they did win in that one, and he got sealed away, but he gets out. And then Link's Awakening was on the Game Boy in 93. This is me going back.
Yeah. Link
to the Past was 92 from the Super Nintendo. Then the Game Boy Color ones I played, which is Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. And then there's A Link Between Worlds, which came out on 3DS. In 2013, Triforce Heroes is 2015, came out on 3DS. Legend of Zelda, which is the original game from Nintendo, was 87. The second one, Adventure of Link, it came out in 88. So yeah, no, those are if he lost. So if he was defeated, it was Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, Oracle of Seasons and Ages, Link Between the Worlds, and they spent a lot of time in like a darker version of the world. So that's why it's considered if Link had lost. So the ones where he won in the child era is Majora's Mask, came out after Ocarina in 2000. Twilight Princess is one where he won.
Yeah, I remember that one a lot.
And the Wii, I played that one a lot. GameCube and Wii, I had a version of both. Four Swords on the GameCube.
I didn't really play that one. And then there's Timeline where he's a victor as an adult, which is the Wind Waker, which is one I really love. 2 is where it's like a land full of water. Like Water World.
I don't like water.
So he sails around the whole time to get places. That's the Wind Waker, came out in 02 on the GameCube. Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks came out on Nintendo DS, and then Breath of the Wild is the latest, and the other one. Just the Kingdom. But those, they haven't really added to the timeline yet, but it says we come to Breath of the Wild. It's the most recent in the timeline is set at the end of all 3 timelines, so the 3 timelines come back together for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But yeah, so from Ocarina of Time, they split off into 3 different timelines. One where Link doesn't win, one where he wins as a kid, and one where he wins as an adult. And so the games branch off, and then they come back together for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I think there's like a time jump in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
like
it has to be far.
Like 100 years or something.
Yeah.
I think both of them, Link and Zelda, are like asleep or something for like 100 years. But it makes sense that they would have to jump the timeline just to keep with modern times, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, and I think a lot of them is like a different iteration of Link. It's like your Link was reincarnated or something, but I think like the one in the Wind Waker where it's the ocean world, that's not Link. It's just a kid. Because their lore in that was they used to dress the kids up when they turned in as Link, the boys.
Interesting.
And then his sister gets kidnapped, and he goes to save her. He ends up finding this pirate chick. Of course, there's pirates because it's an ocean world. Yeah. And she ends up being Zelda or whatever. Like a reincarnation of Zelda. So, but he's not a reincarnation of Link. He was just on an adventure because his sister got kidnapped. He's like, I gotta go save my sister at 10 years old, and she's 7.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with like a game where like the theme is Link saves Zelda. Like, how many times are we gonna do this story? But I mean, even if you just do the story the same way over and over, and just the graphics gets better or the gameplay gets better, I think I would be okay with the story staying the same. Because I feel like it's the same with Mario. Like, Mario's pretty much always saving Princess Peach from Bowser. And like all it does is just that the graphics get better. Yeah. And I mean the story's timeless in a way, like the hero's journey, which we talk a lot about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I like that it's different.
The newer ones.
Yeah, locations and different stuff like that. It reminds me a little bit of Pokemon, where it's the same world, but it's either a different time or a different place. And so that's really cool about Zelda, and I just love the storyline of just saving the world. I like to save the world in any form or fashion. So and it had swords and like bow and arrow and stuff.
Yeah, he does have cool weapons.
Yeah.
I will be honest, like when I was first learning about Zelda, like way back, like in the early 90s when it first started to come out and Pokemon was coming out, like whenever those two first were like together, like when they were both in our reality, I'm pretty sure I thought they were the same thing for like a minute, because I play so little video games anyway, because my eyes don't really let me play a lot of them, and they look the same. Like the old graphics were so basic, you know, so I was like, oh, this must just all be the same thing. And since I couldn't figure out Zelda because I didn't feel smart enough, I feel like I didn't really try Pokemon either really until like high school. Was when I felt like the graphics got better, where my eyes didn't hurt as much. And even with Zelda, Breath of the Wild never hurt my eyes.
That's good.
But a lot of those 3D ones, I couldn't really do it. Like, it would mess me up. Breath of the Wild was like all of COVID. Like, that was like the main game that we did, like for all of COVID. And that's every time I even like hear it, or like the music is playing, or if someone has it in a video or something and I hear that music, I'm like, lockdown. We're in lockdown. And I was like, we played it so much.
Sure, you get pushed back to that time.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I got into the Koroks, because those Korok seeds, there's 900 in Breath of the Wild, and I think 1,000 in Tears of the Kingdom. But like I was telling you, I think there's like a bonus or something that you can do, and it like doubles it. Yeah, and I only like I don't know that I followed through and got all the seeds and everything, even though I've notoriously cosplayed a giant Korok. I know that I was at a convention and this guy came up to me and he was talking to me because I was in my Korok costume.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Like I can't really talk in that costume, which is good because I don't know enough information to like really have a conversation with fans about it. But it won't stop people from just talking. And did you do this? And did you get that? And this part? And I'm like, I don't know. When I'm in the costume, you can't see my face going like, I don't know. But he was telling me about that, and he's like, and then I got the bonus, and it was like 2,000. And when I finally got all of them, I'm like, that's
Must
a
have been
lot.
hours of your life.
I know.
For
That's
sure.
why Mike doesn't like the Koroks, and he always throws the rocks at them because it's so. I know. He actually had me make a fake rock for my costume.
Mm.
And I have videos somewhere of like Zelda and Link cosplayers throwing the rock at my Korok. Because
Did something happen when you throw the rock?
they fall down and go, oh, they get hurt. They're so cute. How are you going to hurt the little Koroks? It's so
I
mean.
mean, do you get something?
No.
You just want to be
Just the satisfaction of being mean to a Korok.
Rude.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Rude. Don't be mean to the poor Koroks. But yeah, that's... Eventually, there's like a big one. His head looks like a piece of broccoli, and he has maracas. I'm gonna make him eventually, but I got sad because Dragon Con, the year I made mine, they had a Korok meetup, and it was like 30 or so people all dressed as Koroks, and everyone's sending me, "Are you in this?" No, I'm in Orlando. I'm not at Dragon Con. We only went that one time that we went. That you did your costume. I never went back.
It was packed
That's too
there,
much.
and
That's too
just
much.
downtown and like nowhere to park.
And it's worse now because it's even busier now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I played Link to the Past first from Super Nintendo, and it was a pretty difficult game, but I was a kid, like literally elementary school age,
Yeah.
so how good at video games was I gonna be? Not good, because I was ready to give up on them after Super Nintendo. But then I got Ocarina of Time on Nintendo 64. Got a Nintendo 64. I don't know that I played anything else on Nintendo 64 besides Ocarina of Time. And then there was maybe a few games where I'm like, this game's great too. But nothing compared to Ocarina of Time. I obsessively played it and did everything you could possibly do in that game.
Nice.
And then we went on, then I got that game again when it came out on 3DS. I was like, oh, good old days, Ocarina.
When did it come out on 3DS? What year was that? Do you know? I feel like maybe that's when people started playing it. Like I said, like,
Really? Well, they tried to ruin your eyes with the 3DS. But yeah,
I never had one.
I had one because I'm like, cool 3D games. But you eventually just turn it off and just want to play
Regular. I think the last like Game Boy that I had, which goes back, was in high school when the Game Boy Color was out.
Mm-hmm.
We used to connect the Game Boys to play the different Pokemon. That's how far back I go with like handhelds. I mean, we have a Switch that's technically a handheld, but not really.
I mean, yeah, there are versions of the Switch that are handheld.
Mm-hmm.
Came out in 2011.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
That's when that Resurrection came out, and people were like doing
yes,
those.
Ocarina.
Yeah, and people were talking about it nonstop on like I said, what felt like the infancy of social media, but I definitely remember there was big MySpace groups about it and everything. And even though I never played it, I like following the story. And visually, I do like watching what I can because it's always been really pretty.
Yeah.
I think maybe because I'm biased to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, like those are just so pretty.
I mean, and they're the most recent, so they
Yeah.
have the best graphics, I'm sure.
Yeah, the graphics just in general nowadays have gotten so good with that. But that's what's always enticed me. Like even before I got real big into Star Wars, I would just kind of watch stuff about it because it's like kind of interesting. And it's the same with Zelda.
Yeah.
Plus, I love that you cosplayed from it, and I was like I said, I did do a lot of research for that to try to do it. But I didn't wind up making the costume, but I still remember a lot of what I researched to try to get it right.
Was cool.
Yeah.
And then there's pictures of them where they're like with the muscles and stuff. I'm like, Zelda was in shape. But yeah, I did re-get that when I got the 3DS. And Nintendo, they're known for rehashing stuff and bringing stuff back. Like all the Pokemons have been redone pretty much, and So they will redo a game again and get that money again if they can, you know. So, and it's fine. I like to see new stuff with new graphics, and I will still get the new Zelda or new Pokemon or whatever that comes out, or new Zeldas that come out that look better than they did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because it brings back the nostalgia. You know what you're doing already,
Yeah.
and that always makes you love something when it's familiar. So let's see. After Ocarina, I went up to the Wii came out, and then the GameCube came out. So Wind Waker was on the GameCube, and then I got a new one when the Wii came out. And I love that game because I love a pirate game. It's not really a pirate game, but you sail around all the time, so I consider it kind of a pirate game. You encounter pirates.
Yeah.
But
what else you could do as a villain in the water?
Yeah, it did remind me of Waterworld, and I was like, "This is amazing," and I didn't really know in that time frame what it was, but yeah, like the gods flooded the world because Ganon won or whatever, and so to get rid of him, I guess they killed everybody. Like, what happened?
It's that Thanos mentality.
All right, like, now we're gonna flood the world. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
You're gonna make it better by killing everybody. Sounds a little biblical.
I know. Same. But we said we weren't doing that again.
Right. And then so I played that a long time, and I did a lot of that, and that was super fun. And your boat talks, so it's like a lion, like a dragon boat or something. So it's like it's a dragon, and it turns you around and talks to you and stuff. So that was fun.
I only know that exists again because of cosplay. I think it was actually at a Dragon Con. I didn't see it in person, but someone made one, and they add like those little motorized like scooters and stuff to it, and sometimes people like run around in those kind of ships and stuff. And someone cosplayed one of those ones. I don't know that they had the dragon talk, but it did move its head.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I know that exists, because I remember seeing that cosplay and I was like, wow. That's good.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, one distinct characteristic of that game was the fish.
Mm-hmm.
You had to uncover every square on the map by feeding berries to this fish, and he would tell you like the cartography of that square.
Nice.
And so every time you feed him, he'd be like, "Meh." So I always think of that sound in my head whenever I see a fish or something. But yeah, he's cool, and he tells you a little bit about that square and the island that's on that square, because every square had an island.
Mm-hmm.
So I always think about that fish when I see stuff, and then there's the guy, I don't remember his name, Beetle Bard or something. He would go around on a boat as like the store or whatever, so it's the boat store, and the sounds he made was hilarious. I don't remember them exactly, but I'll find them and put them in the video just so people can see what I'm talking about. But the sounds from that game, hilarious, and I still use them to this day, I'm sure. Just like I still use some Pokemon sounds, which I will mention in that one. And then the next one that I played was probably Twilight Princess after Wind Waker. Yeah, I played Twilight Princess. He becomes a wolf early on in the game, and that kind of almost turned me off, and I was like, what do you mean I gotta play as a wolf? I don't want to. But it doesn't last that long, where then you can switch between him as a person and him as a wolf, Link, and then there's this other chick who's not Zelda. You're like, what are you doing here? Who are you? But she rides you when you're a wolf.
Interesting.
She's from like the dark world, or like the Twilight world, because that's what's called the Twilight Princess. So she comes from the Twilight world, and the reason there is a Twilight world, because I think this is another one where Ganon lost and he got banished to the Twilight world.
Yeah.
And then he gave his power to the bad guy of the Twilight world, and then that guy wants to take over the world, of course. So this chick from that world comes over, and she can only come in like a different form or whatever to your world, and then she's the one who helps you become a wolf, because she kind of like saves your life, because whatever people who go to the Twilight world from the real world, they like become ghosts of themselves or something. So they can't hear or feel or do anything. They just like going through the motions or whatever.
But becoming a wolf saved him from that.
So
kind of like
her turning him into a wolf saved him from that, so he could actually affect what was happening and do the stuff. So
never seen anybody cosplay Link as a wolf.
Yeah,
not one.
It would be hard. You know what? You gonna walk around on all fours or something?
Cosplayers
do that.
Dedicated.
They
I
do
can
that.
see that happening, but I've never seen anybody cosplay him as a wolf.
Yeah, I had that amiibo, whatever. Of it.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've seen of it. Is that amiibo that?
Yeah, I think it came with the game. I didn't buy it separately.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cool game, and once you saw the real form of this chick, I forget her name.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not Zelda. And I was like, who's this other girl? But she was like beautiful when she was her real form. I was like, oh my god, you look amazing.
Yeah.
And Zelda was really pretty in that game too.
She had that mask thing on for most of it, right?
Well,
like
she's just in a different form because
yeah.
she's from the Twilight World, and so she couldn't be in her own form. So eventually you go to the Twilight World
and see her.
And then you see her, yeah.
But Zelda is in that game.
Zelda's in it.
Yeah, because I've seen that. I've
she
seen the cosplays of it, and I think her dress in that one is really impressive.
Yeah.
Like her outfit. I know, like, I go into games, well, the costume looks good.
The costuming.
And sometimes it's all I watch stuff for.
Yeah, because you're trying to make it.
Yeah, it's just to see the costumes. But yeah, her look is really impressive in that one.
Yeah, both of them are looking good, but Zelda's barely in that game.
She's barely in her own game.
Yeah, she's not in that game that much.
Like Sleeping Beauty, like Aurora in Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, because her castle gets overtaken by Twilight, like, from the beginning, pretty much. And you do see her eventually, and she's like, you have to save us from the Twilight or whatever. But what I really liked about that game was the side characters. Like the people from your village, Link's village that he's originally from. They're really cool. A bunch of good characters there. And then, like, there's another village next to where the Gorons live, where I guess that's kind of like Secret Village or whatever, where there's like a shaman. He looks really cool. Like, all the character designs are very cool in that game. So, I always think about it and want to play it some more, although it's only on the Wii. Wii U, I guess, now, after the Wii U. Hopefully they're redoing it. They came out with Switch 2, and they started doing GameCube games on there.
Nice. Those are classic. People love GameCube games.
I do love GameCube games, but I'm waiting for Skies of Arcadia. So recently I've been playing it. I'm not going to talk about it because that'll be something nerding out about, but I was at the GameStop and I was like, is there a reason to buy a Switch 2 yet? And he's like, not really.
Wow, even they're like, no. And GameStop's always like, yes, buy the stuff.
Buy it. But he was like, no. First of all, it costs too much. Second of all, yeah, there's nothing like that you can't play on Wii or Switch 1, really, that they haven't come out with anything new that's just Switch 2. So
because that's always how Nintendo has promoted it. It's like,
come out with something new.
This console with this game, like that was the whole reason we bought Nintendo, was to play Mario. So
yeah, and there was a specific Mario, but I don't keep up with Mario like that.
Yeah,
I don't really think it has a super deep story like Zelda. I love Mario and that character and stuff, but it just, the storyline's like, oh, he's gonna save the princess again, like, you gotta fight Bowser or whoever. They came out the GameCube game, and the Wind Waker's on the GameCube port on the Switch 2, but I was like, isn't that enough to get the Switch 2 for that? Because
how much is it?
I still have Wind Waker on my Wii.
Yeah,
like, I still have my console. Like,
the original Switch is just fine.
Away.
It works just fine.
It was expensive, but I could only see stuff with a game included.
Yeah, that's the whole draw. Nintendo, you can't leave your format. Like, that's what we've always been.
Yeah, it's like $4.49.
I guess that's pretty standard nowadays. But yeah, if it doesn't have a game that's exclusive to it, I don't know.
For a Switch 2, I'm like, meh. When Switch 1 still works. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing different about it, then there's no point.
I mean, it says there's better graphics, and they came out with a Hogwarts Legacy that has better graphics, but I'm like, the graphics are good.
We don't need it.
I don't need a little bit better graphics.
I don't need it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so people got it just because, people like to get the newest thing out, but I was like, no, I don't get it until there's something worth having it for. Twilight Princess was next, and then I guess the Breath of the Wild came out after that.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't remember seeing anything between
Breath of the Wild's old now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was from COVID. So,
Yeah.
and I feel like it was even from the year before that because it was Alex's birthday that we got it in 2019. If I'm not mistaken. I had it even in 2018. Gosh, really? I don't know. It was that 13th,
yeah,
whatever.
I guess maybe Skyward
birthday
Sword was in
was,
between that and Breath of the Wild, but I didn't like Skyward Sword, so I guess I just was lost on Zelda for a while. Then that came out, and I was like, you've gone even further from the formula. So
it's about 6 to 7 years old. Gosh, it's pretty
yeah,
cool.
you can do whatever you want and solve things however you want. I'm like, I'm more of a tell me what to do type of person, not a let me think about how I want to do this time. Like, no, what's the best way to do it? You tell me that, But
and I feel like there's so many people on like YouTube are doing videos like that. Like, this is the best way to do this, or this is how I feel like, because maybe people wanted that structure.
Yeah, I like structure, and then and I'm already used to structure, so now you've unstructured it completely, so it kind of lost me. So yeah, I gave my copy to you guys. And I was like,
Yep, and that's how we survived through COVID. Just playing that game.
I don't want to play this.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I can play the old ones still. Like, I still have Twilight Princess. I still have Wind Waker. I still have Ocarina. I still have, I still have a lot of different versions of the game that I like and that I could just replay. And I do that. But yeah, it's a really good story, really good lore about it, and who doesn't like to hack stuff up with the sword?
Yeah, I like the things I like about Zelda. Obviously, the costumes and stuff, but I like the little flute that they have. I like the town. I know there's always that joke about the vases that he breaks.
Oh yeah.
Always
you don't want
things.
Link in a vase shop.
Yes, you don't want Link in a vase shop. Like, those kind of things. Like, that's what I like about it. Plus, it's nostalgic, and I mean, it has to be mentioned. But all the people who think Link is Zelda, all the people who think
people who don't know anything about it, and they're like, yeah, who's that guy Zelda?
Yeah, they think Link is, or people who call Peter Pan Link because their outfits are similar. That those type of things always crack me up. I don't see it a lot of conventions because us nerds, we know when we're in our nerd space, we know. But outside of the nerd space is when you hear people say stuff like that. I'm like, gosh, I barely play, and I know that you're wrong about that. That's funny.
Well, yeah, and you bought me this shirt where it's a combination of Link and Ash. Or just a Link to say I'm not Zelda or whatever.
Yes. The Hey Arnold one that we have.
I mean, it's Nickelodeon's fault where or it's Nintendo's fault where they're like it's called Zelda but Link's on the box.
But yes.
Because he's who you are. Like, but and it's interesting why. But Link's not a good name to call it.
Yeah, Zelda's a way better name for sure. That's funny.
But yeah, there was a whatever the Wisdom one that came out on Switch. That's you play Zelda. I haven't played it, but there is another one in the timeline there where she is the main character of the game. So
they do need to switch that up more. She is literally, it is called Zelda. I would like to play it where she's not like
one came out
where she's not kidnapped and she's like saving the world or something. I mean, hey, girl power, go get it, Zelda.
Yeah, it came out and then people were like, oh, all this, people mad about woman power going on. Like, women can have power sometimes.
Yes,
don't always have to be the guy saving the day. Like, sometimes somebody else can save the day, and that's okay. But yeah, I haven't tried it. I did see it at the GameStop while I was there, and I was like, I barely like when they change the formula now with Link still as the main person. What am I gonna think about with? And it's like $50, so like. Maybe in the future when it's cheaper and I have more time, I will be like, let's play the Zelda.
The Zelda.
All right. Well, we're not going long here just because, how much stuff can I say about Zelda? I could go into each individual game and be like, this is what happened in this game. This is what happens in this game. But just know that I have a love of Zelda, and one day I will play Breath of the Wild, and I will play Tears of the Kingdom, and I will get over my dislike of open world in that genre.
As a Korok, I just asked please don't throw rocks at them.
I'm not going to throw rocks at the
Thank
Koroks.
you. I
love
appreciate
Koroks. I love them from Ocarina of Time when I was introduced to them, where they were people, and then before they were
trees.
Yes. They're just little people.
They
They're
were
just
green-haired and blonde-haired people instead of trees, and then eventually they turned into trees, probably because their leader, the Deku tree, died.
I actually made a plushie of a little Korok.
Oh, yeah?
Like when I cosplayed Link, I should have brought my I also have a Bokoblin mask, so I because he wears that outfit in Breath of the Wild, the little lobster shirt and
Yeah.
the Bokoblin mask, and I have the shield and the sword, but sometimes if I don't want to hold the shield and the sword, I'll hold my little Korok instead. Because I don't like to hold a lot of stuff, but yeah.
Yes, you have this problem.
Yes, just my right hand. But yeah, so I hold the shield in the left hand, and then I have my little Korok here, and I just have them like with me. I made them because they don't even sell them anywhere, so I was like, oh, I guess I gotta make them myself. I'll bring him one day.
I do want to show the book here.
I know, it's so pretty.
This is a Dark Horse of the comic book people. And it's just the history. There's a timeline in here somewhere, but this came out when Skyward Sword came out. So the first part talks about that game a lot, but there is a timeline in here where it talks about the divergent timelines or whatever.
Nice.
But yeah, those little bird things.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of that game, even though I didn't really like it.
The birds.
The birds. I'm like, I want a bird. I want to jump off cliffs and it kind of reminded me of Skies of Arcadia because that's a game with islands and you're in the sky.
That's because it's so much fun to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a timeline in here somewhere about when Link lost or whatever, the decline of Hyrule from the last hero type of stuff. But yeah, it's a really cool, fully imaged book because it's made by comic book people. So I got it a long time ago, and I just have it on my bookcase. But it's cool. I might show some more pages of it when I upload this. So
It sounds like we need to do a second episode of Zelda one day because there's so much stuff to talk about. Zelda's great.
Yeah, we could. So what about you? What are you nerding out about?
Well, I'm going to my first ever Labubu rave.
Oh.
Yes, it sounds as unhinged as it sounds. I redid the ears in my costume, redid the eyes because they were super reflective and I didn't like that. So I have my 3.0 ready for my Labubu rave, and I'm going to go dance as a Labubu. I don't know what to expect, really. There was supposed to be one last week, and it was supposed to be at a smaller venue at the Beekman, but it got canceled. And now the next one is at the Vanguard. And I'm like, oh, that's a way bigger venue. Bougier too. So, whatever. I'm going to go. I have an outfit I'm planning for Alex. I'm going to make her an outfit, hopefully in the next few days. She wants to kind of do like a bounding of the Coca-Cola Labubu. So we're going to figure that out. And then I have my costume ready to go. So if you live in Central Florida and you see a random Labubu walking around downtown Orlando, it could very well be me. Yes, I was invited to a few other things, but the month of August was not a good month for me. Like, I was just busy. I couldn't do it. So I had to decline all the other invites to other things. So I'm so excited. I'm like, finally I get to go dance as a Labubu with random people. 2025 has been the year that I dance, apparently, because
so you were at that other raid. Right?
I was we went to another raid, the Hashbin Hotel one, where we handed out the 100 ducks. And then we brought in the year. We went to a dance party at Cabana. So we literally brought in the year dancing. I danced at Angelica's wedding. I never danced. I'm like, man, I'm dancing all the time now. It's great. It's fine. Let's dance.
Yeah.
So that's it. Just excited to go to a Labubu rave.
Labubu.
Like a whole adult that I am.
You gotta wear that costume and be hot.
Girl, I have lost almost 100 pounds. So maybe dancing is how I'm gonna do it. I'm 20 pounds away from having lost 100 pounds.
Nice.
So let's see what happens after the rave. How much I sweat.
How much you sweat out.
It is indoors. I wore it I did wear the costume for a whole 8 hours indoors at I think it was Tampa Bay Comic Con. And while I was a little sweaty, but it was like the Korok. I actually think I sweat more in the Korok than I do in the Labubu, because even though the Labubu's fur is like a giant pajamas, the head is huge or whatever, but the Korok is like full foam and everything. Like I can't breathe in that one at all, really, and I sweat a lot, like buckets in the Korok. But the Labubu wasn't too bad.
That's good.
Yeah, I washed the first suit because I'm not one of those smelly calm people, but it wasn't. I just washed it because like you wash normal clothes. Like it wasn't even because it was smelly or anything. So we'll see. And I stay hydrated, and I know when to take breaks. And I know I'm in my 40s and I can't be throwing down like I'm in my 20s. I know, a 40-year-old Labubu, but whatever. What are you nerding out about?
Okay, Skies of Arcadia. And I didn't mention it earlier because I was gonna bring it up here. But yes, I've been replaying Skies of Arcadia Legends, as they call it. And I was watching on YouTube one of the people they were doing voice acting for it while I was playing, because I like to watch people play what I'm playing because it feels like we're playing together or whatever. But yeah, they were having a good time, like just acting it out, because there is a little voice acting in it, but not a lot. And just do a lot of reading, so they're reading out loud. And they're just falling in love with it, people who have never played it before. So that's always fun to see people love something that you love.
Yeah, for sure.
So I started playing it on my other computer because my main one was at the Break Eye Fix place, and they were taking forever, even though their advertisements the same day. But then I called them, that's for phones, and I was like, okay.
Oh. You should specify that. Like, sounds like false advertisement.
And I was in a rush when I dropped it off, so I didn't ask any questions. But yeah, it had been like 3 days, and I was like, I need my computer. I have things to edit, and I have things to record. So if it's starting up, because I took it because it wasn't starting up. So I was playing Skies on the other computer that I got fixed recently, which it was pretty much done until I had it fixed, and it's my writing computer, so I'm like, yay, I should get back to writing. Yep. Have I done that? No, but should I? Yes. But I was playing Skies of Arcadia on there, and then it like froze, and it didn't save, and I was like, when I got my regular computer back, I got on there, and it was further along than the beginning, but it wasn't where it was. But I was like, this is better than starting over from the beginning. So I started that one again yesterday.
I have abandoned whole games. If something like that happens, no, I'm not starting over.
Well, it can't make me for sure saves on this game, and plus it's on an emulator. I still do have my copies of it, so don't at me for playing an emulator. But I have the physical copy of it from the GameCube somewhere in here, so I have the physical game. I bought it multiple times, like at least 6 times, because those little GameCube things, they got scratched up so easily.
Ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
No, you can't have ice cream. My mom made mango ice cream.
Anything Evelyn makes is delicious, so yes, I will have some.
But yeah, so that's what I've been nerding out about, replaying Skies of Arcadia, just whooping Balua, or however you say the Bad Kingdom's name. As you do, it's another Save the Game world. Where you're an air pirate, and your pirates are cool. Pirates are cool. Air pirates are even cooler because you're flying in the sky in ships.
That's why that one, Assassin's Creed, the pirate one, is my favorite. It's pirates.
Yeah, pirates. And Florida's on the map, and Tulum's on the map, and I've been there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out and joining us for this episode about Zelda. Until next time, see ya. Bye. I should talk about liking and subscribing, huh? You should probably like, comment, and subscribe below what you're nerding out about. And, what Zelda game you love the best, or when you started playing Zelda, whatever Zelda information you want to give us.
Yes, do you throw rocks at Koroks? Don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't hurt the poor Koroks.
Justice for the Koroks.
All right. See ya.